A Raindrop's Journey to the Quiet Sea. Have you ever been in a place that was so noisy and busy that all you wanted was a moment of peace and quiet? In a big, rumbling storm cloud, a little raindrop named Plip was about to begin a journey to find his own quiet place. Plip was a brand new raindrop, born in the middle of a loud, grey thundercloud. It was crowded and chaotic. Other raindrops bumped into him. Thunder boomed and lightning flashed. Plip felt small and overwhelmed. He couldn't wait for his turn to fall, hoping to find some peace. Then it was his time. Whoosh! He fell from the cloud, which was exciting for a moment, but he landed with a splash right in the middle of a fast, rushing river. The river was even noisier than the cloud. It tumbled and churned, rushing over sharp rocks and around tangled roots. Plip was swept along, tossed and turned, with no control at all. He felt like a tiny pinball in a giant, roaring machine. All he could hear was the rush of the water and the clatter of pebbles. He couldn't think. He couldn't rest. He just tumbled on and on. He longed for a moment of stillness, but the river was relentless. Is the whole world this noisy and fast? He wondered, feeling tired all the way to his watery core. After a very long time, he felt the river begin to slow. The chaotic churning softened into a gentle rocking, and the loud roar faded into a soft, rhythmic shushing sound. He had arrived at the edge of the great, wide, quiet sea. At first, he was scared. The sea was so big, he was sure he would be lost forever. But as the river merged with the calm, salty water, a wonderful thing happened. The pushing and pulling stopped. The noise was gone. He was no longer a frantic droplet in a rushing river. He was a calm droplet floating in a vast, peaceful ocean. A deep, ancient voice that sounded like the tide itself seemed to whisper all around him. "You are not lost, little one," the great sea hummed. "You are home. The river's job is to rush and be busy. The sea's job is to breathe and be calm. You have finished your noisy journey. Now you can just be—" Plip felt the slow, steady rhythm of the ocean lifting him up, and then gently setting him down. Up and down. It was like the whole world was breathing with him. He could finally hear his own quiet thoughts again. He looked up and saw the setting sun painting the clouds in soft, sleepy colours. He was still a tiny droplet, but he was no longer overwhelmed. He was part of something huge, calm, and peaceful. He learned that even after the noisiest, busiest, most overwhelming of days, there is always a quiet, peaceful place waiting for you to come home and rest. And while the little raindrop learned how to find his inner calm after a noisy day, a brave little fire truck in a bustling city was about to learn a very different lesson about what it means to face your biggest fears. Subscribe to Storiella so you can join him on his heroic adventure.